Hi everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Today's video is my January reset, and I'm also going to be doing a little mini 2025 reset. Hopefully you can get a lot of inspiration out of this video, and I am hoping to make monthly resets this next year. So if there's something that I didn't do in this video that you want to see in my next reset, make sure you comment down below and I will hopefully include that in my next reset video. But what we are going to be doing today, as I said, we're going to fill in my bullet journal for 2025, make my January reading journal spreads, make my end of journal spreads for my 2024 bullet journal. I am making a separate kind of like 2025 reading wrap up, or 2024 reading wrap up / 2025 reading plan. So I will be filling in my reading journal and doing end of year spreads and everything like that in that video. Anyway, for the 2025 reset kind of vibes, we're going to be doing a Notion reset, making my my vision board on Pinterest, because our printer right now isn't printing in color very well, so I can't like print out all the pictures yet. But hopefully we'll get ink soon and then I can do that, because last year I literally never printed it out. So we're gonna hope and pray that I can do that this year. Yeah, and then I'm going to talk about a few goals that I might be setting, but I haven't finalized that 100% yet. Before we get started, I'm going to just say I'm going to do the 2025 section and then the January section. So we're going to be coming back to my journals at the end. Okay, that's it. I promise. I'm not going to say anything else. Let's start journaling. Okay, so these are the spreads I ended up making. I have a little journal reflection, which I'm just going to write about my experience in this journal and what I thought worked and what didn't. A 2024 reflection, so just like for my year, I have biggest accomplishments, things to work on, favorite memories, and goal reflection. I'm just going to write a few sentences at the end of the year, probably later today, or sometime in the next few days. Just about my year and what I thought went well and what didn't. I'm really trying to focus on the positives for this year, because I'm always like, oh, I didn't do any of my goals and I want to work on this and I want to work on this and this was bad and this was bad, but I want to work on like seeing the positives. So these I tried to like trace a washi tape, but it didn't really work, and this one worked, but then they got worse, so just ignore that. But I have some habit reflections because I tracked 4 habits the whole year, so I can have like a percentage for the whole year, like what percent of the year did I do this. Content, and then goals. So I'm just going to do like the percentage of goals that I completed, stuff that I want to move to next year, and what I'm most proud of like completing. And then these, I'm just going to make pie charts of all my beginning like year in pixels stuff. And then over here we have my 2024 memories. Once our printer gets ink, I'm just going to print out a bunch of photos and make a little collage. And over here, next journal, I'm just going to write down, I'm going to transfer the rough copy of my plan for my next journal onto this page, and we're gonna fill this up, and then we have goodbye 2024, just like a little closing page. I used the same theme as my beginning, just to have continuity throughout my journal, and I'm really happy with how these turned out, and I'm excited to fill them in later. I'm not going to do that on camera just because they'll be like private information and stuff. So yeah, those are my end of journal spreads for 2024. Hey everyone, I just wanted to pop in on a voiceover to talk a little bit about my process for setting up for the beginning of the year. I always go through my old journal and see everything that I've put in the beginning spreads to check if there's anything that I still need to fill in. And I always set up these color codes for my pixel trackers. I like to have a one color code and not just a bunch of random colors. So I always pick the mild liner colors that I have the most of to make a nice gradient. As you can see on the far left, there's a purple one there as my little example. But I was just looking at my old trackers and seeing what color combinations I did and what I wanted to change for the next year. And I'm also going to talk a little bit about the goals that I'm setting for next year. I don't have too many goals because I really want to focus on just a couple. And I do obviously have some ones that are just like, oh, check that off once it's done kind of goals, and not ones that I need planning for. But there are a few that I do need to plan out, such as trying 2 new hobbies and other stuff like in that vein. So I just wanted to talk about some of the goals that I have for next year. So on YouTube and Instagram, my subscriber goal is 1,000 because we recently hit 600 subscribers. Thank you for that. That is literally crazy. But my goal for next year is going to be 1,000, which I feel like is a little bit of a stretch, but I think we can do it. And on Instagram, my follower goal is 300. I think I'm at 220 right now, so if you want to go follow my Instagram, you can. But I also wanted to say that my goal is to get a little bit better with editing. So if you had any suggestions for that, definitely let me know in the comments. And I'm also going to try and post more consistently on Instagram because I was good at the beginning of the year and then I kind of fell off around the halfway point. So I'm hoping to stay strong throughout the whole year with Instagram posting. And obviously I do have more personal goals and stuff like that. But yeah, I just wanted to let you know some of my goals for next year, and I also want to write the second draft of my book next year. I'm hoping to finish the first draft soon. My goal was the end of the year, but I think if I can finish it before I go back to school after winter break, I'm gonna just count that as the end of the year because I've been really busy with filming all my videos and New Year prep. Okay, so I finished my end of year spreads and other stuff. I'm sure you saw my setups. But now I'm going to do my Notion, like I'm going to update my reading trackers and make my 2025 ones. It's not that hard. I'm going to set up a couple of spreads for 2025, or like pages. Yeah, and just like update a couple other spreads. Or not spreads, oh my god, pages. Also, I put up my Eras Tour poster. It's a great addition to my Eras Tour wall, and I moved my surprise song tracker to the other wall of my room because I don't want to take it down because it took me a really long time and it looks very nice. So let's work on the Notion. And I forgot to say, I'm also going to make my vision board on Pinterest. We'll probably do that first and then do my Notion. Okay, so I finished setting up my Notion. I didn't really have to do that much because I haven't finalized my goals yet. So I just made my reading pages for next year, and I'll do a couple other things probably like in the beginning of the year just to set up. But I can't really do them now because they're still like set up for December, and obviously December isn't over, so yeah. Now we are going to do my January reading journal, and I will talk about my January TBR, and that will be the end of this video. Pretty cool. Hello and welcome to the January reset section of this video. I just wanted to explain what I'm doing here to set up my January reading journal. I know I'm doing like a full reading reset video next week, but I wanted to include this in my January reset because that's where my reading journal setups will be from now on in my monthly reset videos. But I'm just making my cover page right now. I'm using some washi tape, this butterfly sticker that I got in a scrapbook set for Christmas, and I'm using this sort of blocky font. I'm not really sure what to call it, but I just decided to quickly sketch that out. The other side is my TBR spread, and last year I was just writing out the book titles, but I think next year I want to stick in the book covers of all the books that are on my TBR. And if you notice that cut, my phone did die, so I didn't notice, so just ignore that. But yeah, after our printer gets color, I'm going to print out my TBR covers. And then these two spreads are my calendar and my reading log. I've talked about them in previous videos before. And I did just want to mention a couple of the books on my January TBR. I'm hoping to finish the King of Scars duology before the year is over, and also read Once Upon a Broken Heart. So I'm thinking maybe to put the second Once Upon a Broken Heart book, which I think is The Ballad of Never After, on my January TBR, if I like Once Upon a Broken Heart. And I also want to read The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue next month. But honestly, I think I need to first finalize my 25 and 2025 before I figure out what's on my January TBR. But I do also want to reread the Emily Wilde books because I got them for Christmas. And maybe read a classic like Jane Eyre or something. But yeah, I'm not really 100% sure what I want to do with my reading plans next year, so make sure you watch the video because I'll probably talk about my January TBR in that video. But I will be talking more in depth about my monthly TBRs in my upcoming reset videos, and I'm hoping to also do monthly wrap-ups for the month before. But I am not going to do that in this video because I'm going to do like a full 2024 reading wrap-up in my next video, so yeah. But I am also making 2 new spreads right now. My Books Read spread, which I'm going to hopefully print out the book covers for, and also my stats page, which I'll fill in at the end of the month with my Storygraph stats. But yeah, this is the final flip through of how it ended up looking, and I'm really happy with how it turned out. Hopefully these spreads work out for me, and also we get printer ink. So that is my January reset / 2025 reset all done. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and again, please comment anything that you want to see in my next reset video. I will see you next week for my 2025 reading plans and 2024 reading wrap-up, where I will do end of journal spreads, book bracket, talk about my favorite books, end of year book tag, 25 and 2025, all of that. So I hope you're excited for that. And yeah, I will see you next week. Thank you so much for watching. Like, subscribe, comment if you want to. Bye.